Salutations, Earthlings, if that's who you are. Where's my poem now? That's a funny thing I do. When I think I'm all ready, I'm like, okay, ready, action. Oh, it's up here. Smarter than I think. Action. Hey, so today's a really special one. I'm set up in a little bit of a sacred ode here. Ode to a human to whom I owe a lot. Just catching the last of the sun rays here, the day before the giving of thanks, which should be a ritual that we do every day, really. Every moment, if we know what's good for us. Honestly, it should be a moment-to-moment thing. So today I'm here to bring you a poem about my Aunt Dory, my Tia Dodie, my doe. And I love her much, much more than she knows. Or she knows the gist of it. But she is very responsible for my stardust quota, my every iota of who I am and how I turned out. You have those freaky things with family where you're like, well, why did I get that and not that? And well, that's a frustrating component that I have to now own. Why couldn't I had a sprinkle of that extreme success you have in that way, or that part of this person that's beautiful, or whatever it is? But when I look at the mishmash of all that I am, and I'm definitely a grab bag, I snagged some really good bits from her. And a lot of the past can become a blur, but the moments that I spent with her are really etched in there. And I've spoken a lot about the good fortune I had as a child to travel to New Mexico a bunch with my parents for powwows and conventions and staying on reservations, and how that really deeply impacted my life. And when we would go there, we would often spend a day or two with my favorite family member, Dory, my aunt. And this is one of the awesome sweatshirts my mother acquired whilst in Albuquerque. Still one of my favorites to this day. And she infused me with so much, more than I can say, possibly, more than I can fit into a poem, surely. But yeah, it's this way when you start to gain self-awareness that you see you're a composite sketch, and there is so much in all of us that is inexplicable. Is it the God particle? Is it molecular? Is it psychological? Is it from this great 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 grandfather? Is it what stirs in you your passions? What assures you of your path? What gets you asking the questions you ask? Why do some of us bask in the sunset and others could care less? Why are some of us a mess and some of us seem to have it so together? It's this hodgepodge. It's this stew of you that you either think about a lot or you just go, whatever, I'm human, here it is. But I certainly think about mine a lot, and she has got a lot to do with it. So I'm burning some really beautiful cedar and pinon incense from this lovely incense burner I've had for a very long time. From my mom's shop, I believe. From one of those excursions, no doubt, to Albuquerque. Well, I know the incense is from there because I got it the last time we were there visiting her for Balloon Fiesta, which was epic. It's the second time I've been, and heck, I love it so much. But this smell, this cedar and pinyon will always spin me back to those days with her in the desert, and walking, talking, and feeling like I belonged. Like I wasn't wrong, and I wasn't weird, and I wasn't bad. I was just different. And am. Still. And I'm so glad she filled me with that confidence to know that it's not a flaw. Being raw, being real, being able to spill and spill and spill and still have more to spill, and maybe not appeal to everyone, but appeal to the people that are supposed to matter. And yeah, the smattering of soul stuff that I got from her is tough to ignore because it's there, not only physically, but certainly mentally. So I busted this out. Oh, I don't know if y'all can hear that. Ooh, child abduction alert. Okay. Ah, yikes. Ugh. Not good. Not a pleasant interruption for poetry. But hey, life is scary sometimes. And she is one who taught me that you can't just pretend that it isn't. You don't get to just look away and go, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You have to sometimes accept that it's scary and that you sometimes are adept to deal with those scary things and sometimes not. Sometimes you're left on your knees weeping, thinking, how the fuck did I get here? But you just try to find the next clear bit and walk towards it, I guess. But, all the best thoughts out to that scary situation. But back to this present moment. So I brought this out. Ooh, we got a lot of reflections going on here, so we'll kind of hold it like this. But that's her. My sweet Tia. That's her as a super youngster. Even more super youngster. And then there's me. I mean, undeniable comparison, really. And there's faces, there's certain like expressions that we make still to this day that it's like, did you just become her? Like, there's a surefire line between her makeup and mine. It's just there. So, she wouldn't want me to dwell on this aspect of her life, but she's been very sick for some time. And it's one of those things that gives me a lot of panic because I just wish I could take it away. You know, I just wish there was anything I could say or do to improve it or take it away. So I do the only thing I know how to do, which is be there with love and show up with my love. What else can I do? You know, and be real and not coddle her and not expect her to be anything other than what she is in any given moment, because she's never expected anything more or less from me. Just that realness. We've always shown up with that for one another. She also saw pictures of my dog and was like, I want a dog like that. And she got herself a dog who looks so much like Gizmo's long lost brother, and it's the cutest frickin' thing. He's basically a a long distant relative of Gizmo, except he's all blonde, and they really do just give you that deep love that you really need to just hold on to sometimes. So, yeah, we share a tether between our minds, my Tia and I. So, that is for whom I have exhumed these parts of my brain, pulled them out, refrain by refrain. What are you grumbling about? Okay, I don't know what you're groaning about, but let's just focus on the task at hand here, okay? We're delivering some love. So, yeah, she wouldn't want me to focus too much on that aspect, but I would be hard pressed to find more people in my path, in my life, who have struggled and suffered through more and endured, and in doing so, held on to who they are and their stardust and their get up and keep going and showing up for people they love even when they are squeezed completely dry. I mean, besides my best friend, there's not really anyone I can think of who is like endured so much and just continue to touch people's lives and be a badass. And couldn't ask for a lot more in someone to look up to and look toward, look across at. Because she very much owns that no matter where you are on your path, you're not above anyone. You're just a human trying to figure it out. All of us are. So, yep, I get so much from her. I'm looking around the room at like all of the super weird, wacky, funky collectibles I have, and that's such a piece of my puzzle that the moment I stepped foot into her house for the first time as a very young child, I was like, oh, there's that part of me that no one else in my family seems to really get. But here's this person who not only gets it, but lives it as well. And I've, of course, got a lot of Mexico art, Native American beauty around me. Things bought and found in that rich, magical land. Okay, so here's the plan. I'm going to read you this poem about one of my favorite human beings on the planet. So this one is called Tia Mine, a top-of-the-line human. My mother often calls for me and accidentally says your name. This is because we are so much the same. It makes sense. You dispensed your wisdom and excellent humor skills to me, and I can still remember clearly all my childhood visits to your home in Albuquerque. There was always a question within me about why I felt so distinctly different than most people around me. You helped me profoundly in that category, sharing stories that stuck with me about how to make standing out a great quality. You piqued my curiosity for being a unique collector. I saw you as my friend, my aunt, and my protector. My first tours of that little adobe house of yours made me more sure of who I am. We were both fans of Pee Wee Herman and Gumby. We are both quirky, observant, deeply loving, emotional, and funny. You taught me early on that joy and delight in this life do not require money. And though it helps with the weight of all that's felt in this intense world, squirreling it away for some rainy day doesn't promise happiness or inner peace. You are able to teach through example. Upon your mantle were pictures from brave international solo adventures. You spoke uncensored and mentored me by treating me like a human, not a child. You laughed when I was wild, but helped me reel it in when it went a little over the top. You encouraged my unfiltered thoughts. We'd go for long walks and have the best talks about what I was really feeling. You have a way of dealing with emotions and worries by not being in a hurry to move past them. You know how to mend troubles by facing them honestly rather than creating a fake bubble to keep them contained. We have such kindred brains. You make me feel sane and seen when the world is overwhelming me like a bad dream. You set the scene for me to beam my truth instead of hide it. You held a mirror for me to see clearer my messy rainbow even when I tried to fight it. You are delighted by the magic of nature and stirred in me the same reverie for her. You counter stressful situations with a high concentration of badass strength. You'd go to any length to help those you love or someone who has been shoved aside by society. You have a thin, small frame like me, but you are undeniably mighty. You've been fighting for your life and still complain less than the majority of people. Your fortitude is unequaled. You are a straight shooter, minus being straight, and you are great at giving love by the heapful. Time with you is never, ever dull, even when your voice was taken away. You showed me early on what a strong ray of beaming, bright, ready to stand for what's right, queer powerhouse of a soul can achieve. You will never concede your light for louses and blockheads who try to fight against you and your amazing capabilities. You are a snazzy dresser and helped me understand myself better through expression. You showed me lessons through honesty, even when doing so was the opposite of easy. You have freed me so many times from traps inside my own mind. You are inordinately kind. You give time and grit and soul to your community. You have battled horrible illness to the tune of many hard-fought years. Your iron will to beat challenges and beam beautiful thoughts, even when your life is in the balance, brings me to tears. You meet fear with tenacity and sassy wit. You see the storm ahead and do not sugarcoat that shit. You make a habit of generosity. Your philosophies and high degree of intelligence have helped me when everything feels stacked against me. You are my Tia. You have no idea how much I look to you for what a grown-up could be. You see me and you always have. I am so glad you are my family, chosen and by blood. Turmoil hit you with such a thud and you refused to let it run you turmoil hit you with such a thud and you refused to let it rub off your color. When I'm with you for a stretch, then go around other folks, they seem so much duller. You have truly suffered, but you offer so much compassion, and I've been stashing away all that you give me for decades. You say what needs saying when others stay tight-lipped. You are equipped with a soul compass to find other truly good humans. You offer actual solutions where others dig for more problems. You can take pollen and leaves and blossoms and create a salve that relieves aches. You always give more than you take, and it makes an impact on those around you. You dig in the ground soil with a thumb so green, you are like a plant-growing machine. You honor the earth, who is our queen, and seem to communicate with her. You are sure of yourself, but never arrogant. Even when you are drained and in pain, you are benevolent and refrain from putting the focus on yourself. You showed me wealth should be measured by the good in one's soul. You don't fold when the hard things push down on your stability. You seek tranquility when it would be easy for you to give way to the chaos. You're a boss, babe. You say more with a look than some can fit into a whole book. You took me to places I'll never, ever forget. You set me on a path of individuality and got me in the habit of speaking my truth. You don't make excuses and showed me that everyone chooses what they etch into this story of time. You have a remarkable mind. We find similar outfits and knickknacks in totally different spots. I'm convinced that we often communicate just through our thoughts. Last time we walked in the hot New Mexico sun, you couldn't speak and had almost no energy, but you still made it fun and imparted a ton of knowledge and growth to me just by being present. And it's evident we grew on the same funky branch of our family tree. You are a huge reason that I am me. What better gift can there be? Truly, what better gift can there be? So I'm gonna try to show you a few knickknacks, because while I was talking, I thought of a few things in my room that I was like, well, geez, I feel that I had better include these in my voyage. So we're first of all, I know you would appreciate this. This is a cactus of magnetic poetry that's all pretty, like, controversial. Sumptuous, bizarre balance, unusual, emotional, abnormal pleasure, naked pride rancheros, tremendous murmur, apparatus sizzle, freak caress, titillating velvet, happy cheek bra tribute tongue, chickadee toys moon Cadillac score, marijuana consumer, glisten different, freedom, triple exclamation point, exhibitionist hippie buzzard button, lasso pound fever, fondle varmint, sleaze perspective, os, tip Rio Grande basket, goo satisfy, tree hugger, you are such a delicious ache, infinite fabulous buns. You get the idea. So, okay, I just gotta do a little show and tell. First of all, here's my Elvira. She's a pilgrim. So, knew you'd appreciate that. Also, let's get a little more show and tell going on here. This is Two Hand Luke. He's my ever-changing mannequin. He's wearing Homeland Security, Native Americans fighting terrorism since 1492. So he's like obviously, Two Hand Luke is a white dude, very pasty white, but he's he's a hippie and he's a defender of the First Peoples being unequaled in the respect they deserve. So, okay, we're swerving. We're going on a swerve here. Just had to show you a couple things. Okay, so first of all, here's my Pee Wee Herman for President button. Just had to include that. It's by my Don't Panic and my Alf. Oh, and then here's another one. There's the floating genie head from Pee Wee. Oh, and there's Divine. So fine love of funkiness that you imparted to me. I guess I probably need, like a, here we go, this'll work. Just a little bit of light is all we need here. Will this be enough? Will it even work? Kind of. Okay. Listen. This is important show and tell, so we're going to get a little bit of a better light. Taking you all around the mulberry bush here. Because I don't have enough good lighting in my room. But you're just so responsible for this love of funkiness that I have. Here's all my funky friends here. And in particular, I had to show you a couple of them. Ooh, sure is dusty here in Funkyville. And just all down here. Beetlejuice. Oh, here's another Pee-wee thing. Pee-wee hologram. Oh, yep. It's an old hologram, so it's hard to get. Oh, you can see the floating head on there. There it is. Side to side. That's the motion of the ocean. Okay, so yes, I had to show you this because I'm 99.9% sure that you gave this to me. And it's from the Ghostbusters movie, and I always just affectionately referred to her as Granny Gross. But so Granny Gross comes in here to teach class, and she's like, blah, 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 students, blah-de-blah, blah. And then, oh shit, come on, do the trick. Don't let me down here. Ah! You don't listen to me, you substitute teacher, I'll eat your faces off. And her eyes bulge out, and you know, the whole bit. Yeah, just aliens, weird stuff, make pretend, Pee-wee Herman. Yeah, I just, you know, I owe a lot of that really cool part of me to you, because I know that it came from somewhere. Oh, these are, how do we move side to side? How do we move in a way? These are aliens from the grocery store in Carlsbad, where my girl Q lives. So, yeah, aliens, funkiness, weirdness, weird holograms. Wee 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 wee. You know me. Weird tiger purses. You know how it goes. So, yeah, that's enough show and tell for now, I guess. We could keep digging. We could keep excavating, and I'd be like, oh, and this reminds me of you, and this reminds me of you. Oh, this guy. It's very sad. I had to go and get myself one of these in my childhood yars in a land of afar, because you had one, and so, like, I saw yours, and I was just like, oh, I need that. And it's my little alien stress reliever, but he's all deflated. Much like a metaphor for what life can just do to you. He's a bit deflated, but this is the exact one you had, and I had to get myself one because I was like, whoa, my Aunt Dory is so cool. I think if I'm gonna, like, measure up in any any level of coolness, I have to have one of those. And too bad, you know? Too bad that a squishy alien friend just doesn't stay inflated for the squishing forever. But that's okay. I would endeavor to say that there's probably another one out there for me. Sorry, I'm just like, I'm knocking over all of my knicky knackies because I'm trying to unpack them and show them to you. But, you know, there's a million things. There's my funky lighting. Okay. Here's my California raisins trying to battle dinosaurs. You know, they're trying to take over the world. As they do. So dusty. So hard to keep your knickknacks from not being dusty. This is a alien bobblehead. How do you show and tell a bobblehead with one hand? Is she going? Hold on. We'll get her going. Oh, knocking other things over. Anyway, she's an alien bobblehead that my full-blooded fairy friend made for me. So that's how that goes. You just, if you embrace your weirdness, you know, it grows. It continues to grow. But yeah, I feel pretty certain that you gave me Granny Gross, and she is absolutely, positively one of my faves. She just is all the rage on the shelf of odd things. And see, I have to have her set up just so, because that's just the respect that she deserves. So it's now we're just telling campfire stories. So yeah, I love you so immensely, so dearly, forever and ever and ever and ever. And you make me better. That's part of what you've given me. And my heart is tethered to your heart. So isn't that cool? We've always got that. So, mwah, big fat kiss and a big old squishing hug. I love you so much. Happy thankfulness, because I'm thankful for you every second.